My name is Noelle Chilton, and I work with the Green Team. And the Green Team started up this past fall in 2011. We started with 6 kids, and they were very enthusiastic kids, and they were all second graders as it turned out. Then in January, the group grew to 23, and so we had 23 very enthusiastic first to third graders. The idea of the Green Team was to undergo these investigations that Project Learning Tree requires for a certification as an official green school, because we were really interested in seeing what kind of changes we can implement in the school to make it to make our footprint lighter. Our 4 focus areas are life cycles, waste, energy, and water. Stefano is our life cycles expert, and the reason why he was chosen was because he loves anything living, and he loves the guinea pigs, and he loves the peas that we brought home from school. Our waste expert is Susie. She has been revolutionary in her family in getting everybody involved in sorting their trash and recycling. She just basically took over the family garage and created this amazing sorting center all on her own. So she seemed appropriate, and she's just a really bright and articulate kid. Then we have Matteo, who's our energy expert. I chose him for energy because he came into the Green Team one day and asked if he could do a little presentation on energy. And I said sure, and he was so cute about it. He sat down and discussed with all the kids how his sister was learning to drive, and how there should be strict speed limits enforced so that we use less gasoline. And our water expert is Hawthorne. She's a very bright girl, and she grasps concepts very quickly. Water is sometimes a hard thing to trace, so she seems the right person to take water from its beginning to its end. In each focus area, we decided to emphasize one certain part of that, and so for life cycles it was one school salad, and for waste it was one homework journal, and for energy it was 1 hour of computer time, and for Hawthorne it was one flush of the school toilet for water. We wanted to see specifically where all those things came from and where they ended. As we were researching all these topics and taking our field trips, we realized that these areas aren't separate entities, but they really overlap and intertwine a lot.
I went to a farm to see how they grow the salad we eat at school. First I saw Fidel and his friends dancing to bless the land. To start the dance, they blew into a shell and made a fire in a bowl. The dancers had a lot of things to put on, like white robes, red sashes, and seed anklets. I have seen clothes like that in Mexico.
Nanita Tonantzin, te estamos cantando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando.
Nanita Tonantzin, te estamos cantando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando.
Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que estamos sembrando. Bendice la tierra que
Next, I help plant some seeds. It's a lot of work. First, you put on the fertilizer. Then, you use this machine that goes Then you use a rake to make it flat. Now you put the seed in. At the greenhouse, my friend Andrew showed me how to harvest the lettuce. I helped by picking a lot of leaves. There were about 100 million plants in there. It was the most fun thing I ever did. Later we went to see where they wash the salad. Veronica, Vicky, and Anna showed me how. I had to put this white thing on my head and look for rocks and bugs. Then we strained the lettuce and weighed it. It has to weigh 3 pounds. The next day I helped him load the salad onto a truck so that he can drive it to the school. It was heavy and cold. Now when I eat salad at school, I remember all the people and the work that goes into making it. And it tastes really good too.
First, we studied the trash that we throw away at our school. We learned that we throw away 660 cubic yards of trash each year, so that's like up to here around the whole school. And we recycled 117 cubic yards of paper, plastic, and metal last year. Maybe we can get it down to here. Then we went to Valencia County landfill where the trash from our school goes. Travis gave us a tour of the waste station and the landfill. In the waste station, Jeff weighs the trucks as they come in with the trash and weighs them when they go out empty. That way they figure out how many pounds of trash were dumped. The average American dumps almost 5 pounds of trash a day. When you're at the landfill, you see all these papers blowing into the fences. Then the workers at the landfill have to pick up the papers and take them to be recycled. We saw that a lot of trash could have been recycled. Now we will be more careful at school. The materials we do recycle go to Biopapel in the South Valley. Sylvia and Efren gave us a tour of their distribution center. We saw them separate the materials into plastic, papers, metal, and more. Plastic gets loaded onto trucks that go to California. People there load them onto a ship and send them to China to be reprocessed. The paper goes on train cars to Mexico where they turn it into pizza boxes and shoebox. We saw some of our math papers in there. We also saw a mountain of toys being recycled. A friend said they can recycle everything. Now when I'm at school, I tell my friends to recycle more. Our recycling bin is full now. I think if we throw away less trash, we can make the planet a cleaner place.
First, we went to Albuquerque's power plant. They used to burn natural gas over there to make electricity. That part of the plant is closed down now, but they do have solar panels out front. The panels could provide electricity for 300 houses. They also had a part of a wind turbine there. It was huge. Most of our electricity comes from coal-fired plants in northwestern New Mexico. It generates 2,000 megawatts each day. It also pollutes our sky with carbon dioxide and other gases. Switching to solar or wind power would take a lot of that pollution out of the air. We learned that our atmosphere should have no more than 350 parts carbon dioxide per million. Right now we have a lot more than that, so we need to get that number down. To do our part at school, we did an energy survey. We measured how many watts our appliances were using and how many foot candles our lights were providing. Then we came up with a plan to reduce our use. We unplugged the appliances that we weren't using, and we filled our empty freezers with water jugs. That keeps the freezer from working so hard. We painted light switches to remind people to turn off the lights and assigned energy monitors in every classroom. The energy monitors make sure the lights in the appliances are turned off during lunch, after school, and over the weekend. We also planned a school-wide event with Miss Sue. We grew 350 plants in milk cartons, painted 350 cardboard circles with nature poetry on them, and then used all of that, plus our bodies, to make the numbers 3, 5, and 0 on the playground. Now, every time I turn on a computer or flick on a light, I remember how much energy it uses and where that energy comes from.
First, I went to the Rio Grande. A lot of our drinking and washing water usually comes from this river. It used to come from the underground aquifers, but those were getting low. The river level is getting low too, so they had to dig a tunnel to another river to get more water. Then I went to the aquarium, and Tally told me more about the Rio Grande. She told me the river used to meander through our state and provided habitats for lots of plants and animals. People have forced it into a straighter path. That has hurt some of those living beings. The river is drier now as well. It is only going to get more dry. Less snow is falling on the mountaintops, and the snow that does fall melts earlier. That means that less water flows downhill during the summer. And a lot of that water is evaporating with the heat. We need to do our part at school and at home, use less water, and save some for the plants, animals, and people of the future. We use a lot of water at school, especially in the bathrooms. All that dirty water goes to the South Side Water Reclamation Plant in the South Valley. I took a tour of it. First, I saw how they raked out all the trash from the water that comes in. I saw brushes and lipstick coming off the conveyor belts. Then the water goes to some big tanks where they remove the grease and foam from the top and the sediment from the bottom. Some of the sediment gets turned into fertilizer to put on gardens. Then it goes to another tank where they move it back and forth to get oxygen mixed in. They also use good bacteria to clean out the bad stuff. Then they send the clean water back to the river. We learned that our water is some of the cleanest in the whole country. Now, every time I flush the toilet or wash my hands, I know exactly where our water comes from and where it ends up.
Some of our salad comes from right here in Albuquerque. More comes from hundreds of miles away. Right now, our leftover salad and our plastic containers, 133 pounds a day, go to the dump. Our leftover could get composted. and our containers could be recycled. It takes 250 kilowatts to make plastic boxes for a school salad. A lot of water goes into growing and washing our lettuce.
Right now, a lot of our homework goes into the trash. We saw it blowing around at the dump. It takes 170 watt-hours of energy to make one notebook. You need 264 gallons of water to make one notebook. A large tree is chopped down for every 3 notebooks our student body uses.
A computer uses about 300 watts of energy. It takes a gallon of water to power that. Plus, water is used in making of a computer. The coal burned to make electricity harms our plants and our animals. Most computers end up in the trash after a few years. They could be recycled.
One flush of a toilet uses 6 gallons of water. Leftover sewage is used for compost. People throw crazy stuff down the toilet, including brushes, lipstick, and even iguanas. At the water treatment plant, they have to break the trash out of the water. It takes 5 watts of energy to get that clean new water to our school. The water treatment plant is one of P&M's biggest customers.
We are a green school. Help us save energy. Help us save our trees and our water. Help us save our world.
Coronado Green Team!
He said Coronado.